After Bart shoots a gush of toilet water up Agnes Skinner's loose behind, he is sold off into French slavery. Now, if you're the kind of person who enjoys seeing children suffer, like in the first Harry Potter movie or the rhino-fueled nightmare that is James and the Giant Peach, then you will love this soul-sucking pit of despair. It really puts Bart through the ringer, with him being used to harvest grapes, haul water, and even have all of his possessions stolen by two of the worst scumbags to ever grace this series. They even make the kid drink wine spiked with antifreeze, for Christ's sake. It's a really hard thing to watch, man. I was also caught off guard by how sweet and well-written Marge's letter to Bart was, with Julie Kavner's authentic and loving reading bringing a genuine tear to my eye.
And your father, well, last night he went to sleep talking about how much he loves you.
Whew, that really makes me think of my own mother and how much I love her too. But more than anything, I feel that this episode excels at making you feel like a helpless child, one with a desperate need to find some help. And thank goodly goodness that it is kind enough to give us that sweet French police officer who, despite the language barrier, does exude a welcoming authority, as he is clearly the kind of person who genuinely does want to help people but is kept from assisting Bart because of his inability to speak French. Or can he?
Mais je parle français maintenant. Incroyable!
Yeah, that part has always felt a little too convenient, although they do make an effort to soften this blow by having Principal Skinner mention how children as young as Bart can pick up new phrases quite quickly when immersed in another culture. Is it entirely realistic? No, but I am willing to forgive it because of how desperately I want Bart to break out of his servitude and find those strangers in the Alps, which is super satisfying. Plus, hey, I mean, come on, this is a show about yellow homunculi living in a mildly cartoony environment, so I can look past some magical realism BS from time to time. As for the B-plot, we follow a sinister little Albanian boy, which these days is pretty amusing to see the old Land of Eagles cast in such a devious light. Yes, at the time it was part of a brutal communist authoritarian regime, but nowadays it's all cuddly cozy in NATO, making it a big pal of the West. I guess the Simpsons didn't predict how that one would go, eh? Still, the setup does provide room for this very keen bit of insight from Homer.
Maybe Lisa's right about America being the land of opportunity, and maybe Adil has a point about the machinery of capitalism being oiled with the blood of the workers.
I think you need to be in a very particular mindset to watch the Crepes of Wrath, one where you're prepared to fall into the depths of despair, but then feel the joy of being hoisted out and treated to a hero's tour of France. And that end portion, where Bart is given a celebrity tour through this land of cheese, is what keeps this episode from feeling too miserable to enjoy. The relief of seeing him actually have a good time and arrive home with all sorts of souvenirs for his family does make the journey through hell feel like it served a purpose. It is all too easy to write a plot where the main characters just suffer the whole way through, with the resolution just being the end of their suffering, and that's it, and that just leaves me wanting every time it happens. I hate it. Thankfully, this episode is smarter than a few others I could mention, so 10 out of 10 would smash.